Well, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm William Brantley on Christmas Day here in Jackson, Tennessee, in North Jackson, Tennessee, on Walker Road, ready to share with you yesterday's and today's climate summary and give you a forecast for the next few days momentarily. I thought I'd play Santa Claus for about 5 seconds. Well, it turned out to be, sort of okay. Christmas Day. No snow, not yet. Nah, I'm just kidding. No snow expected. Actually, there might be a few flurries tonight, but it's not going to accumulate. Radar is detecting some snow flurries in the air, but for the most part, the air is so dry that the snow flurries aren't making it to the ground. So, no, we're not going to get no 5-6 inches of snow or anything like that. But definitely going to continue to have super cold weather. Alrighty, now that I summed that up a little bit, I guess I'll go ahead and read you yesterday's and today's climate summary. Yesterday's low temperature here in North Jackson was 24 degrees. Yesterday's high was 40 and had 0.03 of an inch of rainfall here in North Jackson yesterday. The highest wind gust yesterday was 29 miles per hour out of the north at 5:18 p.m. And yesterday's warmest high in West Tennessee was 43 degrees at the Memphis, Tennessee airport, at Somerville, Tennessee, and at Bolivar, Tennessee, and at Savannah, Tennessee. Hey, 4 locations. Yes, they had 43 for a high yesterday in West Tennessee. Yesterday's coldest low would be 24 degrees in West Tennessee, right here in North Jackson. Okay, I think, I don't know if I mentioned the highest wind gust or not. 29 miles per hour yesterday out of the north at 5:18 p.m. Now today's climate summary, as of 5 p.m., the skies were kind of like thin overcast, mostly cloudy. I could see the moon, but it wasn't bright and all, but it looked cloudy. So I'm going to call it mostly cloudy. The temperature at 5 p.m. was 30 degrees. The dew point was 15 degrees. The humidity would be 54%. And the winds would be out of the east at 5 miles per hour, while the barometric pressure would be at 30.45 inches of mercury. So far, today's low temperature was a chilly 22 degrees. By the way, the coldest wind chill today was 18 degrees at 4 a.m. Today's high temperature made it up to 35 degrees. Just barely above freezing. My goodness. No precipitation today here in North Jackson so far. Lowest humidity would be 45%. Oh, by the way, that's correct for the humidity. For December so far, I've had 7.07 inches of rainfall now. And I believe Bemis is at about 7.10 for the month, or right near that. For the month. I'll give you more details on that the next day or two. So really, Bemis and South Jackson is pretty close to the North Jackson amount now. Okay, after we had all that heavy rain the last few days, minus the last couple. Let's see, the yearly total, I'm up to 54.04 for the year now, and I'm above normal on both the month and the yearly totals. Alright, let me get back to the other stats. Like I said, 45% would be the lowest humidity today, and that happened at 1 through 3 p.m. The highest would be 75%, and that occurred at 4 a.m. this morning. We see the lowest barometric pressure would be 30.41 inches of mercury, and that occurred at 5 a.m. this morning, while the highest would be 30.54 at 30.54, and that occurred at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. this morning. And today's highest wind gust would be northwest at 19 miles per hour at 1:16 a.m. Okay, hold on, please. My voice always gets a little dry this time of the day. I guess it's because I'm doing the video before I eat. Maybe I should do it the other way. Never mind. Records for Christmas Day, December 25th. The hottest high. That's funny. No, it didn't either. 73 degrees. 73 degrees in 2016. That's the funny part. Or ironic part, really. 1 year ago today, 73 degrees. This year, 2017, 35 degrees for a high. 35 this year, 73 last year in 2016. For the hottest high. Now the coldest high is pretty cold too. 14 weather is cold too. 14 degrees in 1983. Imagine having a high of only 14. But it happened in 1983. And the warmest low would be 55 degrees. And that happened in 1982 and 2016. So we had a low of 55 and a high of 73 1 year ago today. This year, 22 and 35. What an interesting comparison there. Well, of course, I just gave you the warmest low, 55 degrees in 1982 and 2016. Well, the coldest low would be 2 below zero. That's cold to me. 2 below zero in 1983. So that was a cold year there, my friends. 1983, a low of 2 below zero and a high of 14 degrees here in Jackson. I still can't get over it. Last year being 73 degrees for a high and only 35 today. My goodness. This year. Alright, let me move on to the rainfall record. 3.66 inches, and that happened in 1987. That's a lot of rain, my friends. 3.66 inches in 1987. And we had a few snow flurries last year. No, not last year. 2012. 5 years ago today, we had a trace of snow. It wasn't enough to accumulate or measure or anything like that. It just fell. But again, it was too light to be measured, or less than 1/100th of an inch melted. Thus, a trace was called for that one in 2012 on Christmas Day. Alrighty, I think that's it for the basic stats. Let me go ahead and move on to radar and a few other graphs to show you. You're going to see, excuse my nose here, pardon me for doing that on the video. You're going to see some what appears to be snow close by. It's my understanding that it is snowing up in the clouds, or just below the clouds, but evaporating before it reaches the ground, known as VOGA. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm sure you've heard that term. It's snowing but not reaching the ground. Radar picking it up, but it's evaporating on its way down to the surface, so never making it. It's a fancy word to describe this radar. Oops, I ain't supposed to be doing that anymore. It's steady or doing the other way. Yeah. Most of Tennessee is clear, precipitation-wise. Radar is trying to show a few flurries to our east and northwest. But to my understanding, the snow flurries or snowflakes, might be a better way of putting it, is not making it all the way to the surface. But look at that funny looking echo of the snow over there in Arkansas, especially southern Missouri. Alrighty, I can move on to the state regional, southeast regional view here. And let me lower that down. There we go, I can see it a little bit better now. I'm sure you can too. Alright. Now that's the southeast regional view. Not too bad around us. It's got that light snow falling in Missouri and northern Arkansas. It is moving east, and a little stretch there across West Tennessee, just north of Jackson and east of Jackson. But again, I don't think it's reaching the ground. Now, if you do see the snow and it's reaching the ground where you live, if you'd like to leave a comment or a report about it, feel free to do so on YouTube, or eventually I'm going to have it on my Facebook group page and on Twitter if you'd like to leave a comment on any of those places if you want to. Alright, let's move on to the national view. And the snow that's to the north of us is not really that widespread, and it's moving slowly eastward. If it does tag West Tennessee, like it appears to be doing now, it's mainly going to, well, be very light. That's the easiest way I know to put it. And let's take a view of the rest of the country real quick. And you see most of the precipitation on the map is snow. I don't see any, the only green echoes is out there off of the California coast near San Francisco and that area. Other than that, I don't see any echoes worth talking about, at least anywhere in the country. There's a few off the Florida coast, very few, down around the Keys, Key West, Florida area, and maybe just a little bit off of the Brownsville, Texas coast area. That's rainfall down there, of course. So most of all this here is snow, every bit of it, but it's not a huge area. It's just scattered areas of snow. All right, and move on to the satellite picture. See what it shows. What in the world? How did I get Argentina and that? Good Lord. It was not meant to do that. How in the world? Oh, there's let me click it on Jackson, Tennessee. Now, give me a second to go through all this. I didn't know it was going to do that. Let me see. Let me bring up favorites here. We'll go back to the way I usually get it. That's going to be the best way to do it this time. Yeah, there we go. Now let me go to satellite. Sometimes look at all them clouds. My goodness. You're pretty well swamped with clouds going into this one. They're thin, but they're coming. Thin layer, they're coming though. Goodness gracious. Some of it's right over Jackson there. That pin there in the center of the screen, pointing toward Jackson. Of course, there you see Memphis and Tupelo. And they're moving. Looks like they're moving pretty quick too, don't it? All right, let's go to the southeast regional. But it does have a clearing over there right along the Arkansas-Oklahoma border. Because actually that kind of goes along with the forecast. It's actually these clouds should clear out toward about 2 or 3 tomorrow morning and turn out to have a fair Tuesday. Or at least a partly cloudy, at worst, Tuesday. We should have more sunshine tomorrow. So that clearing over there along the Oklahoma-Arkansas border kind of confirms that ideal. Or that forecast, I should say. Florida's in good shape. Let's all go to Florida real quick. I might just cold down there too, at least in the northern portions. And there you see where the clouds are scattered around in the area. It's still pretty cloudy between here and, say, Fort Smith, Arkansas. But west of there, it looks like it's about to start clearing. And that should make its way here after midnight, the clearing anyways. Between midnight and sunrise. If it's cloudy at sunrise, something's went wrong with the hourly forecast. And put it that way. Alright, now nationally speaking, there you have it. You see along where the clouds are, where it's clear, and where it's precipitating. Most of it seems to be up there in Canada. Even though there's some up there around Maryland and so on, up in that part of the country, Maryland and Virginia. Alright, that's a pretty good view of the national satellite. And let's move on to the weather map, the surface map, thanks to Weather Underground. And there you see 3 cold fronts. My goodness. One way out in the Atlantic, and the other along the seaboard, eastern seaboard, and another one getting ready to move through us probably next couple of days or so. There you see the light snow that's just north of Jackson, over in Arkansas and Missouri. There's some a little bit further north than that in Illinois. That stretches northwest all the way to Nebraska. Now, how much most of that snow is making it to the ground, I'm not sure. There you see the other highs and lows and stationary fronts and where they're at and where it's precipitating and where it isn't. And all. Alright, that's close-up view and the tour of the U.S. and other parts of the country and where everything's located right now. The frontal systems. I'll take a close-up view of Tennessee. Let me get this over a little bit. There we go. This is not no really dark blue and all that. It's all light blue. According to the radar, it's snowing in northern West Tennessee right now. I'd say from Bradford, Tennessee, northward, over toward Dyersburg, maybe McKenzie. But then again, this is radar indicated snow. There's no surface reports that I know of that's reporting snow. So it's snowing in the atmosphere. It's just not making it to the ground. And I doubt it will, in all honesty. Honestly doubt it will. But don't be too surprised if you see a flurry or two during the night. It's just not going to amount to anything. Alrighty, time for the forecast. Oh, okay, nothing. Okay. Let me read it to you. I was going to let you see it, but I still think it would work better if I had a map of a week. Well, that's what that local on the 8th at the Weather Channel kind of did. We show it to you on a 7-day basis. But this time of the year, they don't have as many of them to air as they would otherwise. But I do need to, I may have to start doing my recordings a little earlier than what I've been doing so I can catch a few of them. After 7 o'clock, they kind of get not as many. Oh well, whatever. I can read it to you just as good as showing it to you. Anyhow, let me go ahead and do that. Right now it's going to be mostly cloudy in the Jackson area and West Tennessee till around 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. And at that point, the skies should become mostly clear for all of tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it's going to stay fair once it clears out tomorrow morning. It should stay fair to mostly fair all the way through the weekend. It's not going to be mostly cloudy all day again until about Wednesday week, January 3rd. Interesting. Are we finally going to get away from that week-long of nothing but cloudy skies? We're finally fixing to break it starting around 3 o'clock tomorrow morning? Let's hope so. But it's also going to be getting bitterly cold by next weekend too. Let me start with tomorrow's forecast. Mostly clear, of course. Starting around 3 a.m. in the morning, or thereabouts. Before sunrise anyways, hopefully. The low temperature should be about 27 degrees. The high tomorrow about 45 degrees. That alone's going to feel good. Because I only made it to 35 today. Alright, we'll have northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. By the way, the first quarter moon is complete tomorrow. And sun rises at 7:03 a.m. tomorrow. Sets at 4:49 p.m. The moon will be rising at 12:16 tomorrow afternoon and setting at 12:15 a.m. Wednesday morning. And speaking of Wednesday, it's going to be fair skies with low near 23 degrees, a high of 35 degrees. It's going to cool back off again just a little bit for the highs, or at least for that one day. With north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it's going to be fair skies, low near 22. It's getting kind of cold. With a high of 40, with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now by Friday, mostly clear skies will continue, with a low near 23 and a high of 44, with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now by next weekend, we're going to have a cold but fairly clear or decent weekend. Fair skies next Saturday with a low near 31 degrees, a high of 34 degrees. Yeah, only 3 degrees difference. My goodness, with that low and high next Saturday, 31 and 34 for a low and high, with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Next Sunday, December 31st, New Year's Day Eve, if I can call it that. Fair skies. Ooh, my goodness, look at this low temperature. 18 degrees. 18 degrees for a low next Sunday morning, with a high of 31, with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2018, mostly clear skies, but oh my gosh, look at this low temperature, 11 degrees for a low. 11 degrees for a low. 1-1. Not 2, but 1-1. 11 degrees for a low, with a high of 24. Even, oh my goodness, the high of only 24. That's below freezing. We're going to have a frozen day on New Year's Day. Both the low and the high is going to be below freezing. 24 is pretty doggone cold, too. With north winds at 10 to 20, we're going to have some wind chills way down there. I bet we'll have wind chills in the teens, no doubt. The wind chills are probably going to be in the teens on New Year's Day. Alright, with north winds at 10 to 20, like I mentioned. I'll go ahead and give you Tuesday week, January 2nd. Mostly clear with low of 13 and a high of 37 with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And it doesn't look like it's going to warm up a little bit Wednesday, January the 3rd. Not a lot, but it's going to be cloudy though. Mostly cloudy with low of 23 and a high of 37. Northwest winds at 10 to 20. Whew. New Year's Day is what's catching me. Low of 11 and a high of 24 on that day. Well, closer to now. Mostly clear tomorrow, like I mentioned, one more time. Low of 27, high of 45, with northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Alright, I think that'll conclude it for tonight. Hope all of you had a great Christmas day. Hope you all got just about everything you wanted, or for sure needed. And all, and I appreciate you listening to me, and hope my weather reports over this past year have been helpful to you and informative, and I hope to continue doing them this year too, as many times as possible. And thank you for tuning in and watching and leaving nice comments, either here on YouTube or on my Facebook weather page or my Twitter page. And I do get a lot of people that actually shares it over or retweets it, shares it over to their page on Facebook, or retweets it onto their Twitter account, and nice things like that. And I hope to continue to be able to help you in that regard. And thanks again for everything. And once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I guess until tomorrow evening, I guess that'll be it. Alright, well, good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. God bless you. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Goodbye.